What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here and being subbed. If you're not, hit the button, and if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this holy mess. Hey guys, so listen, I'm going to get right into it because I actually recorded this once and I think I was on mute for the majority of the recording. So I want to say it was probably the spirit of Bishop T.D. Jakes or somebody from his PR team or ministry. Because listen, the way I feel like they were coming for her live yesterday, allegedly, because she was talking about him stepping down and the lawsuit and all of that stuff, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going to just get into it and share my screen because I have a lot of thoughts when it comes to him stepping down in that ministry, but I'm going to get into all of that later. I just haven't had a chance to really get into it and talk about it yet, but there's a whole lot to say when it comes to that. So let me get into this and let's just begin.
Now, I've been waiting and watching things unfold with this lawsuit, okay? And I've been watching how his team moves, and I've been watching how the alleged victim team has been moving as well, okay? And so I don't know if you guys caught wind that T.D. Jakes has stepped down officially from his church. Now, I thought he already did that, okay? I thought when he gave it to his daughter, I thought we were done, but I didn't know that he wasn't officially done, okay? And so I guess during Sunday's sermon, he decided to really make it official. I want you to pay very close attention to the video and how he looking. Look to your neighbor. And I want you to look at this video. Jasmine, go. Yeah,
Talking to Pastor Torrey and Pastor Sarah, because I did not want all that I had spent my life and your life and our lives building to get old and go with us. And even though she was busy doing Woman Evolved and he was busy pastoring One LA, about 4 years ago, they moved out here just in time for COVID.
Let's be clear, that Woman Evolved conference, it ain't nothing but a spinoff of the Woman Thou Art Loose conference that he been doing for the last 35 years or whatever, maybe longer. I don't even know how long he had been doing that conference. So, and I have my thoughts on those church conferences, but at any rate, let's just continue. It's not like she made some huge sacrifice to come to be to his church and shut down what they were doing over there, because I feel like all of this stuff was just building up in the works. And her being, I don't know, is Sarah the youngest child? Because he has some sons. I believe his sons are gay, allegedly. And I believe the sons are his stepchildren, which, hey, it's fine if they're not like your biological children and you treat them as your own. Great. More power to you. Congratulations, kudos. I commend you. All that's great and good. But there's no way that his gay sons would be able to lead the church. If that is indeed true, I'm just saying what I have heard. And two, the oldest daughter, Cora Jakes, we know that she was married to an alleged convicted pedophile. And I have my thoughts about that too. But also, Michelle Lau came out here and blasted her a few years ago and said that she used spiritual coercion and spiritual manipulation to steal her child from her so that she could adopt a child. And allegedly, Bishop T.D. Jakes and his connections and all of the stuff like that in the legal system allow that to take place. So don't act like Sarah made some huge sacrifice to come there, because all of it is a freaking business.
To the board, because I was concerned. I have seen too many men build something and stay so long that they kill what they build. Now, there's some other things that I'm assigned to do, both here and outside. But I cannot afford, especially after November, to risk something happening to me and you be sheep without a shepherd. I cannot afford to let all the work of all the saints living and dead to hold this so tight so long that I wither away. So I'm suggesting to you, I'm recommending to you that you receive Pastor Torre and Pastor Sarah Come on.
Come on.
This is legacy.
Legacy or legs open? What is it? What is it? Legacy or legs open? Now, when I seen that video, I watched it, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I was really disturbed because I mean, at first I was just like, did we already do this passing of the torch? Why are we passing of the torch again? And then I looked closely at the video, and I don't know if you saw his hands like in his jacket, and then his torso looked very small, and his head looked big, and he was shaking like he was. Look at it one more time. Just run the video just one more time. Look at his hands, like his hand ratio to his body. You could tell, you know. Just look.
I started talking to Pastor Torre and Pastor Sarah because I did not want all that I had spent my life and your life and our lives building to get old and go with us. And even though she...
All right. So you can put it down. So did you see the arm? You see the arm in the hand? I said I seen this before. I couldn't put my finger on it until I had to put on my shades, and I had to spin around, and I spent around again, and then I spent around a third time. And Jasmine, play the video. This is where I seen it before.
Released over this house.
Shout, not Bishop Eddie Long. And I have never seen this video before, but wow.
I said Jehovah Rapha is all over this house. I've felt some pains and things. God said, to be the effective minister I want you to be. And that's all I want you to be. He said, I needed to let you feel what your house been feeling. But I'm here to tell you that thing's broke off of you. I said, I'm here to tell you that thing is broken off of you. And I know a lot of you try to contact me and call me and text me, and I can't return all the texts. I get all the love. Just know I can't do it. It's just too many. It's too many. But it makes me feel good to see all them folks that's praying for me.
I mean, look at how different he looked. That's really sad. Living a life in the dark that you could not live in the light, and you couldn't live out loud. And so you withered away, in my personal opinion, way before your time.
But I want you to know, because one reason I can't hear some is because everybody will ask questions. I don't want to rehearse facts. Now, if you call me to talk about truth, and by his stripes, no weapon formed, I will not die but live. We are the head, not the tail. You want to talk about that? We'll have a nice conversation. As I get stronger, you'll see me more. I plan to be fully engaged.
Stop the cap! Stop the cap! Do y'all understand? Do you see where I'm going here, guys? I had to spin around on that 3 times. I see it felt like deja vu. When I saw TD Jakes' sermon, I said, oh, Lord Jesus, the Lord has spoken, and he said that in the last times in the book of Revelations is what I remember my uncle, who has never been involved in any scandal, said that men will become lovers of themselves. Men will become lovers. And I just can't help to think about when Eddie Long left. He was a lover of himself and other men. That's what.
Child, and look, He was like half the size in that previous video. That's some crazy stuff.
They said.
Mm.
And now TD Jakes with this lawsuit is being accused of being a lover of himself, which is a man and other men. Now, I ain't no pastor, but I can read. You understand what I'm saying? This damn earring to the window that sent me this, and I got big earlobes. The hell with you. I'm gonna wear one earring. Nah, maybe God don't want me to have no earring on today. Maybe that's what it is. They only want me to have on one. But I said, I've seen this before. And so when he stepped down, I said, could it be that lawsuit that he filed against Dwayne Youngblood, a little boy that apparently worked under his ministry and his wife's ministry years ago, the boy he sued, and the other 10 co-conspirators that TD Jakes sued. Didn't name any of the 10 co-conspirators. He only named Dwayne, but there are 10 other people linked to this lawsuit that are listed as Jane Does and John Does that conspired over the years to expose him and take him down. And even though he knew he was getting ready to file this lawsuit, right in the midst of everything that was being said about him and them Diddy parties and him linking with Diddy and all of that stuff, the very day before he filed that lawsuit, he did this on stage.
No, I'm sorry. Tasha's stupid. But listen, a lot of people don't believe that that so-called episode on the stage was really real. And I could see people, thoughts on that being valid. But I'm not going to say that it wasn't because I just simply don't know. I'm not going to go there. But it did look suspicious. But I also do know that stress can bring on episodes like that. Stress can bring on disease. And I'm quite sure he was under a lot of stress since all of that Diddy stuff came out and all of the rumors about him being at the parties and freak offs and power bottoms and the swallowed up jokes and all that other stuff. I'm quite sure that that just did not feel good and it was stressful. So, yeah, all of that can be true at the same time. But also, the type of lawsuit and complaint that he filed, the complaint was hundreds of pages. I believe the complaint may be like 600 pages or less or more. That's not something that anybody does overnight. So that was already being done. So, yeah.
Lawsuit was filed. Said he had a heart attack and he was out the next day. I guess that was Jesus. The Easter weekend, Jesus fell and he rose again on the third day. Because that's exactly how it happened. I promise you. God can strike me down right now. He fell out, filed the lawsuit, said he fell out, and then he was rolling out the hospital saying he had a whole heart attack and he had been risen again. I said
he did say that now because he was alluding to the fact that he died. He didn't say he died, but he was alluding to that. Hey, it's all perspective.
Now he done named all of that in the lawsuit as well too. He did, and said that it caused him an immense amount of pain and suffering, and this is about his legacy. And so, with all of this going on, I couldn't help but to go and really, really look at the lawsuit for y'all because I said some shit ain't adding up. And I know there's a lot of people that's been covering it, but the way I uncover stuff, like I uncovered Shannon Sharp's love for his prostate being massaged. That's why he was in the hospital about it. Somebody had prostate issues and stuff like that. You got to leave it alone. You can't be, coming off your prostate all the time. Of course, the doctor's going to tell you your prostate number's high. Leave it alone. You got to let it rest. No, he ain't got no issue going in for no colonoscopy, prostate exam. He used to it back there, allegedly. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to this lawsuit that I read regarding this young man that sued him, who is not, in my opinion, credible, Dwayne Youngblood, and we don't need his picture up here. For years, he has been, I can't even say the word, touching young men that was in his ministry. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has even admitted to touching young men. He is.
Yeah, exactly. He's a convicted felon. Like, we definitely not going to sit up here and defend him.
The lifetime registered offender. And he came out on another accused YouTube channel, Mr. Larry Come in My Mouth, Only If You Under 17 Reads show, and said the reason he had touched all those boys is because he was abused by him and others like him.
And the reason I don't buy that, I'm not saying that people who have been hurt don't hurt others. That is a fact. We know stuff like that happens in life. But once you have offended somebody else and he offended someone and I'm using that word, but you know what I mean, and also did it again while he was on probation, you don't in turn get the right to try to come after this person later who has become successful, become wealthy, all of the things, got the fame and the recognition and all of the stuff that TD Jakes has gotten, and then you want to come after this man for some money instead of just trying to get yourself some help because you hurt some people. You're not giving them any money. You're not giving them any restitution. And if you had any restitution to pay, it went to the court. And I'm quite sure it wasn't the alleged $6 million that he tried to extort Bishop T.D. Jakes for. Again, I'm not sitting out here trying to defend T.D. Jakes because he's come after my platform before too. I did that video where I talked about him asking people to give a $2,025 seed on New Year's Eve for all of the good stuff, right? To live the good life. If you want to live the good life, so it's $2,025. All I did was talk about it, share my opinion about it, share a little clip from that service, and my channel and video got struck. And it's like, why are you coming after me? Why are you coming after other YouTube content creators for just sharing their opinion about the stuff that you already have out here? It's not like we was in some secret meeting, recorded it, and then put it out here for everybody to listen to and to see. It's like crazy. So, yeah.
He said that's the reason why he carried on the torch in the legacy. That's what he said. And so when you read the lawsuit that TD Jakes filed against this young man, this old man that came out and said when he was a young man that TD Jakes had propositioned him, not once, but twice, said that he would take care of him for the rest of his life. If he promised to be with him and only him, and don't step out with no one else. And he would build him up because he did not want to allegedly give anything to his wife. So he had to be exclusive to him the same way that Shannon Sharp said Gabby at 20 years old had to be exclusive to his own. Same thing. We'll talk about Shannon in a minute. And so I read it and I was just like, when I was reading the lawsuit, you know, he was unwinding just a lot of the background of the victim that came out and said all these things. And then he said, there's 10 co-conspirators. Tyrone Blackburn. Y'all know Tyrone Blackburn. Don't act like you don't know the lawyer Tyrone Blackburn, the midget lawyer. He's like the black male version of Lisa Bloom. Tony Busby. The only difference is he don't never ever he ain't never got a settlement yet. He ain't never won a case yet. So he's representing these victims, these alleged victims that TD Jakes and his ministry are suing, saying that TD Jakes is a lover of men. Now, it's a lot going on here, especially when you doing God's work. A lot of y'all don't be thinking I be doing God's work. That's okay though. Because this man sat up in his own church and said he didn't want to leave his sheep without a shepherd. I wish I would have been like, who he talking to? He said the reason he passing the torch to his daughter is because he didn't want to leave his sheep without a shepherd. Excuse me.
That sneeze, I think, is when they started coming for her. I'm just kidding, but yeah, that's church talk, the shepherd and sheep thing or whatever. But the Bible says that, you know, Jesus is a good shepherd, not these pastors out here. So to put themselves in that type of position is like crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said no. That would have been the moment I would have been like, got to go. But that's how they consider y'all. That's what they say about y'all. Y'all are sheep without a shepherd. It's okay. But back to that lawsuit, I couldn't help but think when I read through that lawsuit today, I saw everything that I just described to you about the young man that is claiming that TD Jakes inappropriately approached him the same way Eddie Long was accused of doing the same thing. And he had a medical condition and didn't tell anybody what the medical condition is. And, you know, he just withered away. And so TD Jakes is saying that he has a medical condition and he doesn't want his church to wither away. Same thing.
No, I don't think TD Jakes' situation is the same as Eddie Long, but I also feel like he's maybe learned from the Eddie Long situation, and it's like, well, let me prepare myself in case anything does happen. I want to keep it in the family. I don't want them to just bring some outside nigga to come and take over my church that I put all this sweat equity in and the legacy that I built and I did this and I did that and and it's like I thought the church was supposed to be God's work, not yours. So you're just passing it down to like it's no more than a freaking family business at this point. I don't think it really has much to do with God, but that's my personal opinion.
But as I was reading through this lawsuit and him talking about the alleged victim, and he basically, I'm talking about when I say slaughtered the character of the victim. One thing that I noticed in this lawsuit that he did not say was that I didn't know him. He's suing 11 people. He never once said that he didn't know them. He never once said in this lawsuit, I promise you, it's what for God. It's what for God.
And like, I get where Tasha's coming from, but I don't think just because he said I don't know them really means much, because he can know them and that just means, well, yeah, I know who these people are, but what they're saying about me isn't true. So if he didn't say in the lawsuit that they have been alleging these things about me that are not true, that's more relevant than him saying I don't know who these people are, because then that would be a lie.
Never once said in this lawsuit, told us all their business, and only called himself a philanthropist who's preached all over the world, changed thousands of lives, but never once mentioned any human aspect of himself by just merely saying, I don't know him and I didn't do it. All I saw was everything that they did and they said, and he's perfect. Now, here's my thing. If I don't know somebody and this is a lie, I'm going to say, I don't know him. This encounter never happened. Never said it. Not once in a lawsuit. But it is very interesting to read about the characteristics of, the victim as well as the co-conspirators. And the co-conspirators are a group of gay pastors that he knows. Larry Reed. Write this down. Write this down. Write this down. Write this down.
Dr. Scrotum Sniffer, like mad church disease calls him.
Okay? Larry, come in my mouth only if you under the age of 17. Reed is a co-conspirator. Hold on. Let me get this other. Let me get the other ones. Hold on. Bishop Arch Jordan. Archbishop E. Jordan. Mansa Jordan. Hold on. Let me get another name. How many is that so far? 3, 4? 4? Okay. So co-conspirators, they have been plotting on him for years to take him down. And they succeeded because he just stepped down. Hold on. Let me get one more. Hold on. Pastor Richard Edward Youngblood. Now that's how many, Jasmine? So who are the other 6? This is 1 through 10 because it's 11 people. Who are the other 6 co-conspirators that he's suing that he didn't list in this lawsuit and didn't list their allegations? He's leaving them. I've never seen anybody in my life ever sue anybody and leave them as a Jane or John Doe. If this person ruined your reputation, why aren't they named? If they're causing you emotional distress and pain and suffering, Bishop Jakes, why aren't they named? Why are you leaving them unnamed? Who are the other 6? Who are the other 6 that you're suing? Is it because you don't want them to get clout? Is it because you don't want their names to be known? Is it because you don't want us looking up, pulling photos, times, place, dates, and times? Nothing in which you described in this lawsuit, but you're suing 10 co-conspirators and you sealed the case. What are you sealing? What are you hiding? What have you been hiding the entire time? All I know is if I didn't do something, everything is on the table. Open the box. Let's go. Open the box. I was very shocked at what I read. And because he's done so much work in the Black community, he's written books, renowned public speaker, philanthropist, has given millions of dollars to organizations all over the world. But who are you? Who are you?
Listen, I heard this years ago, but according to MVMO podcast channel, She said years ago that Bishop T.D. Jakes is gay. Now, she said it, I didn't. And it very well may not be true. I don't know. But just because this person that he is suing may not be credible, it doesn't mean that Bishop T.D. Jakes's hands are clean and he's this perfect, innocent individual. So all Tasha K is doing is asking questions.
We know what you do. Well, who are you? You blasted everything but you, and you never once said, I don't know them. I don't know them. That date and time, I wasn't there. I was here. And then had the audacity to explain in the lawsuit, which is one of the reasons, this ain't got to do it, that it's not his job to prove if the allegations are false or not. It's not about him. It's about the person who is alleging that he did something to them about. No. If you are suing for defamation, the burden of proof is on you to prove that what these 11 people that you are suing, and we only know 5 out of the 11, it is your burden of proof to prove that all 11 are lying on you. And then you want to get up here and call people sheep, because that's how he looks at people, as sheep. Because if you can't really read, you will be able to just, oh, this is a little boy that touched boys and he's registered. This person has been accused. But T.D. Jakes, I've never been accused, but you are being accused. And I'm just trying to figure out, by you not saying as a pastor that you don't know him, you don't know any of these co-conspirators, why is it that they know you? They're claiming to know you. You've alleged groomed some of them that know you. And not only that, like, what are you doing hanging with a group of gay pastors? What's wrong with the live, Jasmine? It went from like almost 10,000 to what happened? Hold on for a second, y'all. Hold on. How we doing? They said it's over. It's throwing people out. Y'all here? We here? They said it's throwing people out of the live. I wouldn't be surprised if his team was hitting the live. I wouldn't be surprised.
Like I said, it's like, why are you doing that, allegedly? Because it's just been too many situations where I've seen where his ministry has come for people's YouTube channels because they're talking about him and they're not talking about him in a favorable way. It happened to my channel. It happened in my video.
And like I said, I'm not accusing Jakes of anything, but it's mighty funny that you're accusing, like you're blasting everybody else's, but like you never once said that you didn't know these boys or these people or these co-conspirators. And my thing is, what are you doing as a pastor hanging with other alleged pastors who have also been accused and are registered of touching young boys? What makes you think that you're any different from any of them, but you know them, but you didn't claim you didn't know them? What's going on with the live? They hitting the live? They hitting the live though? You sure? Because you know they'll flag the live. So it said something went wrong. Hold on for a second. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, it kicked out 10,000 people. We had 10,000 people. They're behind the scenes kicking the live out.
And I believe it. I 100% believe that. And all she's doing is talking about it and asking questions.
Y'all see why I don't go live with these stories over here and why we go live on TashaKLive.com? Do you see that? You see that? Huh? It's still kicking people out. I know it's kicking people out though. So it's going from 4.9 to 5.9. How did it just drop 5,000 people off? Y'all listen, it's about to get thick. I'm sorry, y'all. We're gonna head over to TashaKLive.com. Jasmine, set it up for TashaKLive.com and let's go live. I'm not even about to play with this. I'm not even about to play with his PR team today and his legal team. I mean, I'm only reporting on what it is that you put out, what you said. And I know this narrative. What does it say? What does it say? It's back at 7,000 now? But it's still, look, it just went from 7 to 6. They're flagging the live. This is what happens, guys. And you wonder why my husband built TashaKLive.com. And y'all get upset. Oh, you're just charging. No, it's because of stuff like this. During COVID, we're flying around the world, getting doing documentaries on people. YouTube and the powers that be are telling me, oh, what's monetizable, what's not monetizable, who knows them at the Google office, like who they know at the Google office, because these people sit beside these people and they control narratives. All I'm saying is we would not be sitting here if it wasn't for TD Jakes suing them. We would not be sitting here. I would not know any of these details if you did not file a lawsuit. I've seen it happen before, but at this rate, come on now, come on, Jasmine, come on, let's play. And when YouTube called a meeting with me with 6 of their executives, what can we do to keep you on YouTube? I'm here censored. I swear for God, hand on TD Jakes' heart. I swear to God, hand on TD Jakes' heart. 6 executives, 5 black, 1 white. What can we do to keep your content on YouTube? Nothing. Nothing, because this is what you do. They don't want narratives out here. Don't come out here trying to pay the narrative. Everybody ain't sheep. Let me have talked about some Kardashians. The live would be at 10, 11, 12, 13. Like, stop. No, this is why I be over there on TashaKLive.com. This is why, because I say what I'm going to say. And ain't nothing they can do about it at all. Now, I employ the assets. I'm going to stay here for now. What you doing hanging with all of those gay pastors? Everybody know Larry Reed is gay. He's been accused of grooming Bishop A.R. Jordan, his son Manson, who is gay. What are you doing? How do they know you? How do you know them? Why are you ministering and grooming or being accused of grooming these young gay men? Why ain't no women coming out here saying, Pastor TD Jakes helped me in ministry? The only one that can say something is your daughter.
He helped a few women in ministry, but honestly, those couple that I can think of, it's like a disgrace. So I don't even think that's a bragging moment. But Paula White, Juanita Bynum, eh.
I'm sick of them. I swear to God, as hard as we work on this damn content, this is exactly what they do. Put up headlines, oh, she's a liar. Oh, I'm a sewer. I'm going to do all of this. What the hell I got to lie on you for? There's people out here telling all their business. And even with that first damn lawsuit, that wasn't me. That was a bitch telling her business.
Child, but listen, I am not surprised that allegedly his ministry was coming for her platform because she was talking about it, because of the views that she gets. But Tasha K interviewed Michelle Loud a few years ago. I don't know if you all saw that interview. It was on YouTube and it's on the app. And Michelle Loud came out and she was talking about TD Jakes and talking about Cora Jakes and the stuff that allegedly led up to her child being taken under spiritual coercion and spiritual manipulation. And she shared a lot about Bishop T.D. Jakes and his wife and the children and how the home was. So nothing surprises me about these people. I would never sit here and say that these people are perfect. Nobody is. But what I don't like is the tactics that they take to shut people down, like myself, like Tasha K, like Nina Unbreakable Strong Woman, just to name a few, where he has come after their channels. Larry Reed, come after him all day long, because I came out and talked about that and I said, this dude, I feel, is jealous. He wants to be TD Jakes because allegedly TD Jakes does like men. Allegedly, that's what people have said. And he has a huge, huge influence, lots of money, lots of just access. And Larry Reed, he likes to feel like he's got the type of life that people would envy, but he really has nothing that anyone envies, nothing that anyone wants. You know? So if he can expose TD Jakes and put him out on Front Street so that he can start losing things, he would love to see Bishop TD Jakes be like Shannon Sharp, be exposed and have things taken from him. He would love that because he's jealous. When people like myself come out and talk about these people, the first thing that people who like those people are going to say is, "Oh, you're just a hater. You're jealous." Far from it over here. Far from it over here. But there definitely are people that are haters and are jealous and do commentary to try to take people down. And Larry Reed would be one of those people, in my personal opinion, who has done stuff like that when it comes to TD Jakes because he's jealous of TD Jakes. I don't want nothing that TD Jakes has. Nothing. Couldn't pay me to be having the type of life that he's had to lead in public, and all of the stress that he's had to have on him to keep something like that going because it's a business. It has nothing to do, in my personal opinion, with God. That's just my personal opinion, because there's a lot of people out here that have literally sacrificed and laid it all down for the sake of the gospel to lead people and help people through the word and help people through life and really doing the doggone thing right, and really have been effective in people's lives, and you will never know anything about them because they're not, one, looking for recognition, and two, they don't get the recognition. So because we know about Jesus, it's none of these people are ever going to be Jesus or be like Jesus. So if people want to put people like TD Jakes and others like him on pedestals because they have a large platform and a large mega church, you go right on and do that. But it doesn't mean that what they have is something that God built. And I'm not speaking for every single person that has a big mega ministry, but honestly, when it comes to TD Jakes, there's a lot to be desired, but I still am not on those people's side, the Dwayne Youngbloods and all those co-conspirators when it comes to the people that TD Jakes is suing in this lawsuit, because Larry Reed has been coming for TD Jakes for a while now. And all that stuff about Manasseh Jordan being groomed and he was going to be suing TD Jakes, why did that never happen? I don't know. All I can do is assume. But yeah, Tasha K, she put it all out there. And yeah, it looks like the church was trying to come for her live stream to shut it down. I want to know what you guys think. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.